Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to Ohio State Football with Scarlet and Great. We got our coffee this early morning. I am joined by none other than Brandon Maserati Moses. Since he didn't
Maserati.
mind the Maserati Marv tag last year as much as the rest of us, I will say he could be Maserati Moses. B. Moses is sipping on his coffee with me this morning, getting ready to talk Buckeye football. Then getting ready to talk, is this the best Buckeye defense since 2019, 5 years ago, when we had an absolute dominant team in and out? I'm going to make this bold claim and say yes, and we'll get into that here shortly. And B. Moses is going to give us some good numbers here to think about real quick, guys. Ohio State football season's coming upon us. We have 9 days till football season. Help us get 9 new subs from this video alone. And we're going to get closer and closer to 6,000. And the more we got, the more giveaways and stuff like that we can do. So 9 subs off this video. Brandon, let's talk about best defense since 2019. By the way, B. Moses from Buckeye Scoop, you've been killing it though, real quick lately. I just saw the show that you did with your boy from Michigan State talking about cheaters up north. I wanted to ask, do I have permission to reach out to that guy and maybe bring him on here? Because that was a really good show.
Permission?
Yeah, I mean, I ain't gonna. If you're like, hey, no, that's my dude. Hey.
No, man. ain't no weird gatekeeper stuff going on over here, brother. By all means, reach out. I mean, the dude has bars for scum for days, and he's very connected, very intelligent, sharp. He's got receipts. If you follow his Twitter account, his name is Justin Spiro. You follow his Twitter, he's continuously bringing out receipts on old like beat writer articles that were very hypocritical, par for the course for scum. But yes, please reach out to him. Every Buckeye outlet should reach out to that dude and make him an ally.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate you feel that way. You don't have ownership over content. I told Zach Smith once told me before too. I was like, hey, I looked and our shows are similar today, and I'll send him mine, and he'll be like, hey, dude, that's fine. He's like, I know you didn't copy off of me. He said, but even if you did, I wouldn't care. Hey, Brennan, bold claim for me. I'm going to crack open some even more caffeine here because we are cooking with gas with this defense. Best defense since 2019. You of all people know that I am sick of the summer beat writer express that is just nothing but optimism year in, year out. I mean, these are the same guys telling me Kerry Combs' defense was going to be on point. Now, I'm going to say, though, Brandon, they haven't made this claim. I have. That this is going to be the best defense in 2019. I'm all in, dude. Am I crazy here?
Come on. Of course not. I mean, honestly, I'll be frank with you. I don't trust anybody's opinion who disagrees with this. To me, this is a layup take. This is obviously the take. So for many reasons that we'll get into, but 1,000%, bro. And that's why we're so excited, because the 2019 defense was great.
And the reason I figure it's a layup, the only way I think this could be wrong is if last year's was slightly better than this year's, because last year's was a top 5 defense. I'm not saying that's going to be the case. I'm saying that's like where if you were going to be wrong, that's where you would be wrong. We do still have to see it on the field. We do have Sonny Styles changing positions. We do have a few things going on, but my goodness. Could you imagine? I mean, I think they would not need, the coaching staff would not need the wrath of Buckeye Nation to come down on them if this wasn't a great defense. I think each defensive coach in the room would stare in the mirror and go, maybe I don't know football. Maybe I don't know ball. If they couldn't coach this defense to success. Yeah. I know we have to make it work with James Laurinaitis. We have to make it work with Caleb Downs. There's going to be a lot of ego, a lot of talent, a lot of money, a lot of Grippos, barbecue chips floating around. But you do got to make it work. The chemistry and gel is a real thing. But if there's ever a time to do it, man, and do you find that impressive, to be when coaches can, people say, like, if you're really talented, you just roll the ball out and let it go. But when coaches get all these high level, high praise athletes to buy in and be unselfish, do you find that pretty impressive, just as much as coaching up a 3-star?
Yes, I do, for a couple of reasons. I mean, because look at 2015. Urban Meyer has went on record. He's dropped little nuggets about how tough it was to manage, that team after coming off a championship with all that NFL talent. We've heard from back channel sources that we trust that, that team was a little goofy when it came to staying focused, on the prize, and some ego started to, I mean, that is very hard to maintain and corral. So yes, I do. Now, with that said, I think it's a lot easier when you have a guy like Caleb Downs, who everybody says is a professional. Because here's the thing, y'all. One of the things that made that 2019 defense so great is Jordan Fuller. We agree, right? Jordan Fuller wasn't.
Yeah.
He wasn't the greatest athlete. I'm not saying he was trash, but I'm not saying he wasn't the greatest athlete. But what made him so great? He was a leader. He was cerebral out there. He was a pro out there. Look, we insert Caleb Downs to this defense, who's arguably more athletic, more freaky, and he's considered a pro. So these coaches, you talking about looking yourself in the mirror, dude, like, you got Nick Saban's retirement. A blessing fell in your lap, bro. Like, this is incredible. Like, I'm still tripping. I want to see this offense, but this defense excites me even more for all the reasons we're about to go into. But yeah, my bad. I can keep going, but yeah.
Okay, yeah. Hey, real quick on that, I always say, when I do see a bunch of talented all-stars get buy-in, I used to be a UK hoops fan, but back in the day, I'm highly critical of John Calipari's ability to coach the game. But I remember in 2012 when they won that national championship with Anthony Davis and company, I remember going, well done for getting all these studs to buy in.
Yeah.
It is an impressive thing when you can see guys who have been told their whole life, you're the best player on the field, coach needs to play you more, when they're all told that, to just buy in and go, no, I'll take getting chewed out by my coach for my brother next to me. I need to get better, But let's get into this is the high profile thing about defenses that I think we've been missing. And I'm not saying the defense is trash without this, but it certainly makes a difference. And that's sacks, right?
Yeah.
We haven't had a strong sack season since 2019, I feel like. Even last year with a really good defense, it wasn't, since Jim Knowles came, it's just not been this high sack, high octane thing. So before we get into it, I want to comment from the audience. Who do you think's going to get more sacks this year? Comment Jack, or comment JTT for Jack Sawyer, or JT Tuimoloau. Well, I thought I was going to do it. I was like feeling myself be. I thought I was going to do it. Jack or JTT. I thought I really was going to do it for a flex on Corey, how I could pronounce it, and he can't, but that didn't work. So Jack or JTT, the audience, who do you think, real quick? I think Jack Sawyer's highest year was last year was 6.5. And I think JTT had 5 last year. If we could play Penn State twice, the easy money would be on JTT. Right? Easy. But we'll have to see. Anyway, I digress. Brandon, you got some over-under numbers you want to introduce here. I'd like to see what you got, or just shout them out and let's discuss. So give me some over-unders on some of these guys, and let's see where we fall.
All right, so these numbers I just kind of put together based off what I thought was reasonable, but also kind of challenging to, play the over and under game. So I'm just going to go down a list of what I have. So we're going to start out with Jack Sawyer, and then I'll double back and give you my prediction.
Okay.
So Jack Sawyer over and under number is set at 10 sacks over and under. JTT, 9 sacks. Kenyatta Jackson, 6 sacks. Caden Curry, 5 sacks. The true freshman, Eddrick Houston, 4 sacks. Now, linebackers. Actually, I'm sorry. Let me add Tyleek. Tyleek would be set at 5 sacks. Tyleek Williams. Now, to the linebackers. CJ Hicks, I got it set at 6 sacks. Cody Simon, 5 sacks. And Sonny Styles, 5 sacks. And just FYI, I have Hicks at a higher clip because all fall camp we've heard about how crazy he is rushing the QB. He's the best blitzing linebacker is what they're saying. So, more accountability, right? So that's why I got that set. So yeah, let's dive into it, Johnny.
Okay. For the sake of time, let's do. I want to maybe hit a handful of the big ones. Let's start with the 2 defensive ends first. So you got Jack Sawyer at 10.
Mm-hmm.
I would take. That's close. I would take the under. This is going to be a recurring theme simply because of 2 things. There's a lot of pass rushing going on. A lot of guys that are just going to maybe be like, get there first. And that's nobody's fault, right? Just kind of circumstance, right? You got to, and then,
right.
And I'm not saying he's going to miss it by a mile. I was saying 10's a little high for me, given all the talent around him and the fact that Jim Knowles just hasn't shown me yet that that's what his major focus is. I know he likes chaos. Again, I'm not bashing Knowles here. I think 2 things can be true. I think every player on this list could hit the under and the defense could be top 3, right? I'm not trying to throw shade. I'm just saying stylistically, he hasn't shown me yet that that's really where he's going to get I think just yet. And the other thing is I think, and we saw this last year, teams got rid of that freaking football quick.
Yep.
And I don't blame them, right? It's like you're playing a bunch of studs in basketball. Hey, we're going zone. Ain't about to match up with these guys. So I think that – so I give him just under on that.
Okay. And
what do you got? What do you think?
I think based off what we've seen so far, I mean, I get it. I'm actually going to go the over. And the reason why I'm going to go to over is a couple things. Well, actually, maybe 3 things. Number 1, heard from the grapevine that Jack Sawyer has went on record saying he has a goal of double-digit sacks. So with him setting that goal in his mind, coming back his senior year to, do great things, it's hard to kind of bet against him from that aspect. Number 2, we're going to be playing more games this season. So he'll have more opportunities to fulfill that stat. And then I would say number 3, how he played. I know the Missouri game was a nightmare to some of y'all, but go back and look how Jack played. Like that was his best game of his career. So coming off of that game, that was his last game. I just feel like he's going to be the one to really hit his goal of at least 10 sacks, 10 or 11 sacks, 10.5, whatever. So I'm going to go the over for Jack Sawyer.
Cool. I'm a big Jack Sawyer fan. We drive very similar vehicles. So unless he might be, nowadays he might be driving a freaking Lambo, Tesla Cybertruck. Right. You never know, dude, with these deals going on. Yeah, man. But all right. Well, let's go to his partner in crime, JT Tuimoloau. Maybe I did it that time.
Nope.
But JTT over on the other end, where you got him at? I think you said 9.
Yeah. So the number set at 9 for JTT, and I got the under on JTT because I don't think it's not that he's not capable. He's just so. I think JTT. I don't think sacks when I think him. I think just disruption.
Chaos. Yeah, disruption.
You know what I mean? And on all facets, blowing up a screen, tackles for loss, batting the ball down, interception, freaky interception. So I think he's going to be. I can see him getting 7 or 8 sacks this year, along with a bunch of other crazy athletic plays. So I'm going to go the under.
Yeah, I would say the under, but it wouldn't surprise me if he led the team in tackles for loss or QB pressures.
Yeah.
because there's times where it feels like you saw that a lot. Jack Sawyer beat his guy around the edge, ball, but the ball got out of there quick. JTT beat his guy, and he didn't get a sack, but he chased the guy off the spot, and it was just disruptive. And then, like you said, if it's Penn State, he's going to get sacks, picks, interceptions, freaking.
Guaranteed.
I mean, you might play that dude at fullback at Penn State. Like, listen, Chip Kelly,
why not?
He don't like them Lions. You might want to feed that dude again. I don't know what it is. Give JTT the ball and let him roll. He don't like. Most of us don't really like James Franklin. I think JTT really don't like James Franklin. But all right, what you got next? Hey, hit up. Let's do our boy Tylenol because Tyleik Williams. Because I think a big reason Chase Young had the success he had in 2019 is because there ain't no stepping up in the pocket because Devon Hamilton was there.
Yeah.
Right. And I think he had 5 or 6. So what'd you set at Tyleik Williams?
5. I set it at 5 for Tyleik.
If I'm going to take an over, that's 1, man. If I'm going to take an over, that's the 1. I think you're right on the money. I think 5. I could easily see a 5.5 or 6 though if we let him eat. If we don't do that thing, Brandon, where we're subbing out the D-line at like mid-play even just to get them more like what I'm talking about?
Yeah, that's man. I've been debating about this one too. Because how much is he going to play is what I'm wondering with these blowouts. Are they going to try to keep him? Are they going to try to keep a rotation even more consistent because of the long season and not want him to get hurt and worn down? I'm going to go the over, man. Screw it. I'm going to go the over because he's too good. He's too good. I think he could be in the NFL right now, playing very well on NBC in preseason. Like I'm gonna go the over, and I'm not saying he's gonna get 10 sacks, but 5. Yeah, he gonna get that. He might get 2 in one game. 2 against Akron.
He's going to be another guy. Even if he doesn't, the pocket's going to get collapsed. He might have 2 all season, and JTT and Jack end up with 12 because he collapses the pocket. You know what I mean? Like you're right. I think he's going to be a better pro than in college, Brandon, because he strikes me as this guy that's just a freak and just nasty bull rusher. And like when he gets out of college and he doesn't have as many coaches like micromanaging, and I'm not saying coaches are doing a bad job. They're just doing their job. And when he ain't got to worry about, hey, class and schedule and tutoring and wear your suit and tie when he's just like, hey, go do what you do, young man. I think that dude is probably going to have almost like the Baron Browning effect.
Boy.
Yeah. It's now different positions, but I kind of think that's the kind of leap you see. Speaking of Baron Browning, you said something earlier. You said CJ Hicks is kind of projected maybe for that role, a blitzing linebacker. So if we can learn from past mistakes and say, hey, let's just turn him let's do what we did with Baron Browning, set him up right on Chase Young's hip. Yes. So the offensive tackle and the tight end and whoever looks and goes, what do you mean? Like, you got him set at how many?
I got Hicks, and real quick as I'm looking at Hicks, Tyleik Williams, if he's anything like he is on the NCAA game, he's going to have 10 sacks. He's a dog on that game. He's unblockable for those who've played the game. I got CJ set at 6 sacks, and I got the other 2 linebackers at 5. And yes, I set him at 6 because of all the buzz about him being this ferocious, best blitzing linebacker, which I believe he has the look and the athleticism. So did you want to do the over-under first for this one? You want me to jump on it?
CJ Hicks, correct me if I'm wrong, his hometown is close to Dayton, Ohio, right? I think he's in one of the Dayton suburbs.
Yeah.
As somebody born in Miami Valley Hospital in Dayton, Ohio, I give him the over because of that reason only. Now, I don't know. It's close, but I'll give him the over. I'll give you some Dayton love, some Esther Price candy, some Mike Sells potato chips, all the good Dayton things. I know we're Team Grippos now. My bad. and get shadow banned.
Right.
But no, I'll give him the over for some Dayton love. It'll be close, dude. I'm excited. It'll be close.
Yeah, man. I'm trying to imagine the stat with CJ Hicks over 6 sacks.
Dude, if he has over 6, dude, put a ring on it.
That's what I'm saying. But my mind goes to Knowles. And listen, I know. Okay, I'll say this. Like you said, Johnny, we hear all types of stuff during the offseason, and we're gonna do this more, and we're gonna use the jack more, whatever. But one consistent thing we've heard is that Knowles wants to turn up the heat. He wants to bring more pressure, and he feels he can bring more pressure now because of the veteran-laden team who knows the defense more, who he can trust the back end more to bring guys. So I'm justifying my pick to say yes, I'm going over with CJ Hicks more than 6 sacks.
We got Jim Knowles playing NCAA going engage 8 every play.
Every play.
Don Brown style. Dr. Blitz.
Dr. Blitz.
Let's hope we don't get burnt. All right. Real quick, before we get out of here, since we have established it's almost a given that this defense is going to be great, they basically return everybody but add even better pieces.
Yeah.
Are there any concerns in your mind? Like, hey, this does have to be dealt with to pull this all together. Anything like that?
I would say the only thing that concerns me is linebacker depth at this point. If somebody goes down, because again, CJ Hicks, I think the kid can be really good if used properly, but we haven't seen him out there consistently, being
every down linebacker.
Yeah. Exactly. Instinctual, showing he can read his keys and just boom, 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 instead of just going after the quarterback. So that concerns me if, God forbid, Sonny goes down or Cody Simon goes down. I'm sure Gabe Powers might be a really good player, but we haven't seen it. So the depth at linebacker is the number one thing that concerns me because we got depth pretty much everywhere else on the field.
That's fair, dude. That's a good take. That's why you're on the Buckeye Scoop, because that's because I didn't even think about that. I just see James Laurinaitis and his freaking 17-inch arms and tattoos, and I'm just like, feel like I'm back in 2005, ready to watch him.
Like he could try out there right now, and
I was gonna say, bro, like depth. Who's this number 33 going out there?
Lames Joranitis.
Lames Jordan. All right. Comments from the audience, real quick. I want to say, given all this, who do you think is going to be better, 2019 on defense or 2024? Just simply comment 2019 or 2024. Who you think will be better? We appreciate you guys doing this, coming here with us. I'm going to try to continue to crank out as many episodes as we can, get back into the YouTube algorithm. BMoses, tell them where they can find you.
First of all, make sure you like this video if you have not. All right. Do it now. Like the video. All right. And subscribe. Easy. 2 easiest things you're going to do today. I'm sure you're going to have some harder decisions as you go out into the world. So do that. You can find me a couple places. Buckeye Sports Talk with BMoses on Facebook. Page is popping. A lot of discussion. A lot of good content. Also on Instagram. Same name. As far as podcasts, I go live every 6 p.m. Sunday. Every Sunday, 6 p.m. on the Buckeye Scoop YouTube channel. So make sure you subscribe to Buckeye Scoop. You'll get notifications, etc. And then you'll see me a lot more when the season starts. I'm going to be popping up everywhere, doing stuff with Johnny, doing stuff with everybody. I'm fired up, man. So you're going to see our faces a lot more. But that's where you can find me. Also, Twitter, BMoses 30 at Twitter. Make sure you follow me there as well.
All right. Look my guy up. See, I'll have him back on here again. I think he's a fantastic guest and running a fantastic show over there on Scoop. As always, team, we'll see you next time. Goodbye. God bless. And go Bucks.
Go Bucks.